Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to do cooked down saltfish. Please take a note of the ingredients and make sure that everything is finely chopped. All of the ingredients has to be finely chopped up. Saltfish is a great complementary dish and can go with anything. So we're going to take our saltfish. We're going to rinse our saltfish off using some warm water, and then we're going to add our saltfish to a pan that we will then fill with water and bring to the boil, as you can see I'm doing here. Because the saltfish has a lot of salt on it, I tend to rinse it off first. It just makes it a lot easier and it stops it overflowing too much when you start to boil it. So that's all been done. Now I'm filling the pot with some warm water and I'm going to bring to the boil. There we go. So I'm going to boil the saltfish on a high heat, but I'm going to make sure that I keep an eye on it because it does boil up and it can boil over really quickly. So as you can see here, it's starting to boil. And what I want to do is reduce the heat now. There you go. Throw that off. Drain the saltfish. Put new water in and bring it back to the stove, as you can see I've done here. And now I'm going to boil it for the second time. I always recommend to boil the saltfish twice because it's quite salty, and if you don't, the salt can be a bit overpowering. So this is the second boil, as you can see. Again, reduce the heat, throw it off, and now we're going to start with our ingredients. So we're going to start with a Dutch pot with some olive oil in the bottom. Add our onions, add our spring onions, add our garlic, add our peppers, and at this point we're just going to give the pot a nice stir to make sure that all of that blends in nicely together. Oh, it smells so amazing. All the flavours are starting to come out. So once that's been frying for about 2 to 3 minutes, you can then add your saltfish. So this is your saltfish that you drained earlier. Now you're going to just take your spoon and mash your saltfish up. Mash it up into small bits so that saltfish can spread itself amongst the ingredients already in the pot. Oh, the flavours that come out of it's amazing. It smells so divine. So you're just going to mash that up really small and then fold it into your seasoning that's already in the pot. Now we're adding our grated carrot, our Scotch bonnet pepper, our kale. It can seem like a lot's going on right now and the pot can seem very full, but don't worry about it because it all shrinks down. And now we're going to add our cabbage. Just add that all into the pot. Make sure you get it all in. And now we're going to add our dried thyme. And now we're going to go and fold all of that in together, making sure that all of the ingredients are thoroughly mixed up together. So just fold it, keep folding it in until you get a really nice consistency in the pot with everything looks really mixed up, blended in together. So you're going to fold all of that in. Just make sure that it's thoroughly mixed, as you can see I'm doing here at the moment. Look at all those colours, it looks amazing. And now we're going to add our all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and our fish seasoning. So we're going to just sprinkle that over everything. So about half of that. Spoon that in, really spoon that in, work it in. Make sure that the seasoning gets everywhere in the pot. And then we're going to go back and do the second half of the seasoning. Again, just making sure that it's thoroughly distributed throughout. And then we're going to do the same thing and just spoon it in, making sure that everything is covered. So just fold that seasoning in, work it into the pot. That's it, give it a good old stir. Make sure it's really distributed throughout. Now we're going to add our 2 knobs of butter. Just going to drop that on top. We're going to cover the pot for 5 minutes so that butter can melt out. and then we'll come back. So 5 minutes later, we're now opening the pot. That butter's melted out, giving the pot a good old stir, and then we're going to cover the pot again. Leave that for about 15 minutes and it should be ready. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it looks so amazing. All the flavours are coming out, and now I have plated it with some boiled dumpling, boiled potato and some boiled plantain. It's delicious.